So you're living with your older brother.
Well, at this point, my mom had decided to put me in the Day Spring Treatment Center there at McKay-Dee.
Yeah.
And they had an adolescent program there. So I went there, and, that's my first experience with AA and recovery. And I did real good. I was doing real good. Got out of the treatment for 6 weeks of treatment, and I met a girl. We got real close. We thought we were going to be grown-ups. Ended up getting her pregnant at, 16, I guess. And had my son, Trevor. He was born, and, here I am, 16 years old. Just got this baby boy. I got a job as a dishwasher at JB's in Roy. We got our own apartment. She got pregnant again. And, I was doing all right. I was still drinking and smoking weed a little bit, but I was trying to be a grown-up at, this point, 17. We ended up getting married. My son Casey was born, beautiful boy, and it seemed just like a couple weeks later that she got pregnant again.
Wow.
And I'm like, and I'll admit, I folded on that pressure of having 3 kids coming.
I can't even imagine. Can you imagine that?
3 kids under the age of 19. I mean, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. So I ended up doing acid and getting fired from my job at JB's. I went crazy, and they ended up letting me go. And she divorced. We got divorced. And I moved up to Spokane, Washington. And then I was only there a couple weeks with an old friend of mine. And I got a call that my ex-wife, my wife Stacy, went into hemorrhaging. She had been life-flighted to the University of Utah, and it was taking my son, my baby boy. So I raced back down and get on Greyhound bus, raced back down here, raced to the University of Utah Hospital, and he was born. He was 2 pounds, 2 ounces. He could fit in the palm of my hand.
Goodness.
My baby boy, right? And so I stayed here, and I moved in with my mom. I got a job at Village Inn, cooking, trying to, be a dad the best I can, but I'm drinking and partying. I ended up getting an apartment with some guys from work, and it just turned into a big party house, jungle juice night every night, you know what I mean? And working at Village Inn as a cook, and I met this other girl, Hannah, and we fell in love and decided to run away to California together.
Wait a second. Part 2.
Yep.
Deja vu.
And so we go there, and we decide, to come back, and she got pregnant.
How old are you this time?
20, 21. So, she gets pregnant. I get a job at the Channel 20 television station as a technical director at night, and you guys probably know what a technical director is. You're basically the guy that pushes the button for the infomercial and then push the button 28 minutes later for the commercial again. And that's all I did all night, and got introduced to crystal meth.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
Before we find out about crystal meth, I just need you to, you know what causes babies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure you know this, because here you are.
He's expert.
Yeah, you're 21 and you got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So you're technical director and you get introduced to crystal meth.
Yeah, so I'm staying up all night. It was crank back then, and then the real pure crystal meth came into town, and I got to be able to do that. And I was in a band, and I could stay up forever, and I could work graveyard shifts, and I could do this and that, sell drugs here and there, and do all this. And I was the man, and you know what I mean? It was awesome, right, as far as I was concerned, and stayed up forever. And moved into a house with my big brother and Hannah, and my son was born, and I had a couple of buddies living there.
So this is your 4th son was born?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was born December 2nd, exactly 5 years apart from my first son on December 2nd. So they got the same birthday, just 5 years apart.
4 kids in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I was doing meth and trying to work, and my roommate, 2 weeks after he was born, about 3 weeks, I guess, because the day after Christmas, they kicked in my door. Strikeforce kicked in my door and came in and raided me and arrested me for a crime that was committed out in Willard. Somebody had committed a murder out there, and they had connected me to it, and I got arrested.
So, whoa, okay.
You got both hands up. You got both hands up.
Tyler, so the door getting kicked in is in California.
No, it's in Utah.
You're back in Utah at that point. Okay, I missed that part.
Yeah.
And Willard, just for the listeners know, that's like Willard Bay might be something. It's a recreational reservoir up just north of Ogden.
15 minutes out of Ogden.
Yeah. Okay, and you were living in what part of Salt Lake? Salt Lake?
No, I was living in Ogden.
Ogden. Okay, so you're not too far away, but a murder happened.
Yeah.
Okay, and they somehow, how did they connect you to that? What was their reasoning for kicking in your door?
They just kind of connected the dots to some people that had been seen at my house or whatnot, because I was selling and being a part of. And
sounds like you were kind of feeling, I hate to use this term, but a little bit like a big shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. You're just feeling like,
yeah.
hey, I'm somebody.
Yeah.
Doing this, doing whatever I want. I'm a little bit of an outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that got you noticed in a bad way because you're associating with some maybe not so great people.
Right.
Okay.
So Strike Force kicks in your door and arrests you for?
They arrested me for suspicion of the murder, whatever. They didn't pin me on it yet. They just arrested me and put me in jail for a 72-hour hold.
Whoa.
And
that usually means, from what I understand, if they don't make the arrest for the murder at the time, but they do that 72 hours, that means they feel confident enough that they can get that information in 20, that the evidence can be there. So I think they probably felt pretty confident that they could make an arrest.
Yeah. So, and back then, 72-hour hold was Monday through Friday business hours. So it turned into like 3 weeks. You know what I mean? 72 hours turns into 3 weeks at 8 hours
or just
a day.
Business
Monday.
hours?
Yeah.
That's creative math, huh?
You know what I mean? So they spent some time trying to build a case, and after that, during that time, they realized what was really going on and who did it and whatever. And
you didn't do it?
No, but they let me out, and I was supposed to testify. They wanted me to testify. So they dropped me out.
Was that part of their agreement?
Yeah, they let me out, gave me his card.
In exchange for...
You know, we're going to let you out. Don't go nowhere. We're going to need you later for court. You know, to tell us what you know.
Yeah.
And I got scared and I ran.